Welcome back to Stutter Chats. As today you can see we have our co-host, my other co-host Brandon, as we do have a special guest today, someone that has been a light, a shining light to many people that do stutter. Someone that's I've been following, someone that I really want to get their story through, and I want them to talk about their whole story and how they became who they are today. And his name is Michael Campbell. Welcome, Michael Campbell.
Hey. Um, uh,
It's all
what's
good.
up, everybody?
What's up, man? Yeah, so
It'll come out sooner or later.
yeah, soon. Hey, that's
Yeah,
what I say.
yeah,
Eventually it'll come out, but it's all good, man. We're here to have fun, be authentic, be unfiltered, have fun. If people understand it, they understand it. If they don't, hey, it is what it is. We're having
yeah.
fun with it.
Heck
But
yeah,
yeah, man. I just want to start out with the first question, Michael. I know you have this organization. It's called Smile I Stutter. Let
yeah,
us know more about that and what made you become that, and like I know you being a stutter, what made you want to also proceed that?
yeah. So, I started Smile I Stutter, because my son stutters too, and so,
Oh, okay.
um, before he was born, I'll be pretty personal. Like before he was born, I prayed. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and prayed and prayed and prayed that he would not stutter. I even went as far as to I was careful as to like what I would say, like while she was still pregnant, because I didn't want him to pick it up or blah blah blah. And so,
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, whenever he was born, uh, and then whenever he started to stutter, I took blame for that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as like a brand new dad, like you want to take care of everything. And like the one thing that I prayed for, he had. And so I, I just thought it was my fault. And so, uh, I kind of told myself like as a dad, like I wanted to protect him and like I wanted to do
Mm-hmm.
something, like I didn't know what it was back then. Uh, um, uh, uh, um, I wanted, I wanted to show him that he can do like whatever he wanted to do, even though he stuttered.
Definitely.
And Smile Like Stutter now, it will always be, it'll always be a success because of the way like he turned out. Like he is an amazing young man. He doesn't let a stutter stop him. Like
That's
he's
awesome, man.
outgoing. Um, you know, uh, he, uh, uh, he's basically everything that I was not. And like to me, like as a dad, man, like that's a freaking win for me, you
It
know?
is, man.
Uh, um, and so one day, he was about 12 and Cameron, he was living with his mom, in Nevada and and so he was coming back and forth to come visit me here in Texas. And, he wanted to be the one to answer, like all the TSA questions, like, what's your name, where you going, where you live type thing. And whenever he couldn't answer, literally everyone laughed at him, like like in broad daylight, like and like they just thought it was the funniest thing ever. And then me, when um um uh when I get really anxious, like I stutter worse. And so I couldn't stand up for him, because I couldn't say anything either. And he was like, "Dad, like, why are they laughing at us?" And like literally that same week, I started Smile I Stutter. I didn't know anything about a nonprofit. A true story, man. I was a housekeeper. I was a housekeeper because like I felt that was the only job that like I could do. Because like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to say anything. Like I wasn't like around people. I didn't have to
Yeah.
talk. You know, I could just clean rooms, and just uh, keep it moving. Man, it's just like things. You ever have those times in your life, where like things happen and like okay, that it's not you who did those things.
Hmm.
Like it's uh like that's how I live with Smile I Stutter every single day. Like man, it was probably I say 2021. Like, I was driving down the road one day and like I felt it in my heart to just pull over, and I did, and I just kept saying um I just kept saying God use me, and like I just kept saying it and saying it and saying it, and like literally like every day has been totally different. Uh like the things that I've been able to do, the things that I've been able to say um aren't for me. Like I I don't possess those skills to do those things. Um I mean, shoot, like we're in 14 countries now,
That's crazy, man.
uh and I built my very first school um uh, in Uganda at the end of 2023, and now we have over 300 kids in there now. It's just, man,
It's
it's
crazy
just
roller coaster.
wild. Yeah, man, it's just crazy what can happen whenever you truly just let go, man. Like it's
Let go and let
no,
God,
man.
man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, hey, but
yeah,
look, I just wanna have a quick note on that, man. First of all, man, I'm sure your son has the best coach, man, and he for sure definitely looks up to you in many ways that you might not even think about, and like
yeah,
he learns from you a lot, and who he is today is because of you, and it's shown uh, um what you're saying and what you have done, and that's very inspiring. And like once I have a kid, and I'm gonna be going through the same mindset as you. We're going to
yeah,
praying, hoping my son doesn't get the stutter, or my daughter. But at the end of the day, who's a um, who's a better role model than us?
yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And Moses stuttered, so um, he ended up doing some pretty cool stuff. So, you know,
that's awesome.
Mike, I got a question for you, man, because
what's up, man?
uh, just looking at this and definitely have a question, but I got to get to this one first. How has faith played a part within your stuttering? Because I heard you say pray every day. Like, how has it gotten you through life, man? You know.
Man, uh, well, I mean, it's kept me alive. Like, I mean, as a kid who stuttered, I grew up in this like little bitty town. Like, I grew up in a town, man, that like literally had like one light. Uh, and like I was the only kid. Um, yeah, I was the only kid who stuttered in my town, and so uh, I think by the time I was 13, like I tried to commit suicide twice. It's just
Wow.
Mhm.
I just couldn't handle it. Like, uh, and it was just constant. It's just kids are brutal, and so uh, and like to answer your question, like more specifically, man, like how faith has kept me through, man. Like whenever you're doing something, okay, and like that you're never gonna see the end of it, like that's what this is, and it's just like it's bigger than you, and like it's just not like I feel like once you uh so truth is best. I'm sorry. Uh, I feel like faith is best used when faith is all you have, and like there's been times like in my life where I literally had fucking nothing.
Yeah.
I literally gave my own plasma to like pay for to pay for Smile I Stutter, to pay for the IRS stuff. So uh, faith will get you literally through anything. I mean, like
Definitely.
I put on events, bro. Where like I didn't know, you know, I didn't know anything about putting on an event, but
Mhm.
like, uh, I'm here for it, and like I'm gonna try it, and
Yep.
what's the worst that's gonna happen? I mean,
Exactly.
you already ain't got nothing now, so
But
might as
look
well
at you,
try
man.
anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
hell
yeah.
yeah,
But look at you, man. Already making a documentary.
yeah.
Um, already creating schools over in different countries, man. You're very inspired, man. And as a person who's trying to grow my own, and with my friend Brandon, we met each other a couple years ago, and our goal is to be as inspiring as you are, man. And that's our goal. And eventually, like, we're gonna go through the path, whatever path He will guide us through. If it's us spreading the awareness for this, if it's doing this, doing something else, having faith and faith alone, man, is gonna take us to different heights that we can't even imagine, man.
Man,
And
you
you're
better be
living proof
careful,
about
man.
it.
You better be careful what you say, man. Because listen, like,
Yeah.
uh, whenever he uses you, man, and you're not mentally ready for it,
Uh-huh.
um, uh, um, it'll absolutely ruin you. Like I can't tell you, I can't tell you the weight, you know, of having, but just like, I mean, like I'm just one dude, right? And then have, you uh, I started this for my son, and now I have like all these, like kids and like, just people, and like, uh, you got to be ready for that. And
Yeah.
like, whew, man, uh, you better have some faith and
Yes,
some more in
sir.
your pocket.
Hey, Mike,
You better have more in your pocket, man.
faith as the small as a
Hmm.
mustard seed, as they
Yes,
say.
sir.
So,
Yes, sir. That's true.
man, I'm inspired, man. We gonna talk about the school, man. Like, why did you choose Uganda, and also how did it feel to open it up?
Hmm. Man. So, okay. So, I was meet. So, uh, I'm gonna try to make it like as condensed as possible. So, like,
No, you're good.
so okay. So, long story short, I met a guy named Henry. Uh, 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 over this virtual like this like web thing, and so me and him got to talking, and he stuttered, and he lives in Uganda, and so Henry has an orphanage. Henry's got some kids in there who stutter, and one thing led to another. Like after like months of just talking and talking, like I was introduced to another guy who also helps Henry, uh, and he's got a nonprofit called Dear Future, and he and I got together with um, another lady. Uh, Her name was Sarah, and we just raised the money and we built a school. Like so as far as like my end, because like we all have different because we all have different uh, 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 we all have different reasons, like why we wanted to build the school. And so like, mine was I was talking to this kid, and he said that he felt all alone um, with his stutter. And like I understood that.
Mhm.
And that was my motivation, behind like helping, just raise the money, like learning. Okay, so like we had to go through a third party in order to actually build the school, because like if they would have found out that the school was being built by Americans, and they would have raised the price up. And so we had to go through somebody on ground, uh, 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 which means we had to teach her how to do invoices. We had to teach her how to get bids. Uh, uh,
Wow.
uh, uh, we basically did it all from the ground up. And like I've got pictures of like all the construction, like The school was built by bricks, um, built by hand. Um,
Gotta send
um,
those pics over. I gotta check them out.
yeah, yeah. It's got 7 classrooms. It's got a boys and girls bathroom, and it's got an office. And we also dug a well. Our well, I think, was about 130 feet deep. Um,
Wow.
and it was so deep. It was so deep that they had to bring like little plants down there, just to like make oxygen. And so,
Wow.
um, and so we went, uh, and so we went on a mission trip a couple months ago to the school, is to go do like whatever we could as far as help, like repairs and whatnot. And then one of my goals was to bring speech therapy to the school. And so I've got a connection who lives in Italy, and she created a speech therapy kit that you can basically, it makes it easier to teach people how to help others who stutter. And so we were able to bring that to all the staff, and we're able to help uh, all the kids there that stutter. And like that's where my heart's at. And you really don't get to pick. Um, uh, um, um, uh, you really don't get to pick where your heart goes, and like that's where
Mm-hmm.
mine went. It doesn't have to make sense to everybody, yeah, like there's tons of people here, you know, that could use the help, but they need it so much more. Like, there's a big difference between the word need here and the word need there. Like
It's
it's
different.
not the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just not the same. And so, uh, and that's pretty much the whole story of the school. I mean, um, it is, it has been a truly humbling experience. Uh, I'll tell you this. Whenever, um, 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 whenever we went, and you get out, and like, you go up to the front of the school, and there's like all these kids, right? And they just come like running at you. Like, I literally told my best friend Kyle, and I was like, man, I really hope that this is what heaven feels like, because like, uh, um, it was just love.
That's
Like
awesome.
they didn't care about anything else. They were just happy that you were there, and like that's something that that I don't think anyone um can truly experience until you do something like that.
Yeah, man. Very inspiring, man. Nothing's better than knowing what you're doing is making a big difference. And is there other projects you have coming up soon that you have in mind for another or something you're working on?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
If you don't
yeah.
mind me
So
sharing.
yeah, sure. Uh, so I needed. So I just have two things. Okay, so one thing's pretty special. The first one, so I had to figure out a way to make money for the school. Okay, because like there's like small repairs, and there's always things that happen, right? Like for
Yeah,
instance, like there's windows, that like I have to go repair. And so uh and through the nonprofit, like I've never made a paycheck. I really don't. I really don't foresee me ever doing that. I just don't think that's in me. So like I had to figure out some way to like generate um uh, 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 some income. So I created a documentary series called uh, 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 called "Together We Stutter," and what it is it showcases what it's like to stutter um, in different parts of the world. And and so the first episode that we literally just finished today uh, is in Uganda. It talks about everything from caning because they used to cane kids who stutter, uh, uh,
Wow.
to like, hopefully beat it out of them, and that's a real thing. So it's just, and a lot of that stems from a lot of a lot of that stems from my childhood because like one of my suicide attempts, like I just felt all alone. Like I didn't think anyone else on the whole planet stuttered. And so like to me, like I was like, I don't want to go through, like all my life by myself.
Hmm.
So just might as well die. And so like, uh, and so I don't want kids to feel like that. Uh, because the truth is they're not alone.
Yeah,
And like
100%.
how much better, uh, your childhood, have been, if you knew, hey, that someone else stutters too. And like,
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like that would have been, that'd have been a huge thing for me.
100%. I just feel like with that part, a lot of people didn't know what stuttering was back then, man. And we didn't have
Yeah.
the technology that we have now where we go on YouTube and we see hundreds, thousands of videos about stuttering now. And I think that's, well, why when we were young, we had it a bit tougher because of that reason. We didn't have the resources. We didn't have
Or
YouTube. We didn't have, like, all we knew was our family, ourselves, and maybe an uncle that stuttered, but I didn't really know much about my family that stuttered besides I do. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that was the same way with you, Michael, and the same way with Brandon, because a lot of our parents didn't know what stuttering was. People just thought it was a normal thing, like, oh, I'm I stutter too, and your brother stutter too. But like, I feel no one knows. People knew about a bit about stutter, but no one knew about the mental part of it,
Yeah.
and that's what awareness brings, helps people with that mental part.
Yeah. 100% agree.
I got a question for you, man.
So
When it comes to the mental part, like, because I'm 37, turning 38. When it comes to that mental part, have you done any type of therapy for it? Because that's one of the things, for myself, I say, you know what, that's what's needed because it's not just what comes out of our mouths, but it's also up here. So like we on the daily are challenged. I'm wondering, like, have you done it? And if you have, like, what have you seen that it actually has it helped you out, I guess, you know what I mean?
yeah. I have. Uh, I've done it a lot actually. Like, uh, it took a lot of work just to get to this point. Personally. I mean, because I struggle with it. Like every day. Yeah. One thing Smile I Stutter does that I think, the one thing that I think sets the one thing that I think sets Smile I Stutter apart, is that I want to focus on what's like underneath the water.
Hmm.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the iceberg effect.
Well, stuff.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And so like everybody wants to focus on that little bitty 10%.
Hmm.
But nobody wants to focus on the 90% that's like under the water.
Yeah.
And that 90%, I'm like, that could be like mental stuff, like that could be depression, and like that could be
Hmm.
anxiety. Like there's so much, that just comes along with just being a person who stutters
Yeah.
and, and like it's cool, it's like want to focus, like on the techniques,
Hmm.
but like there's so much more to that. And like, uh, uh, and if people who stutter would just take the time and just focus on them. Okay, like your stutter's not going to get better,
Yeah.
but you're going to feel a fuck ton better about
Yeah.
Yep.
yourself.
Yeah.
And to
Yeah.
be honest,
Hmm.
and to be honest, like once you feel better uh, about yourself, then like it's really not going to matter. Because there's nothing nobody's going to be able to say
Hmm.
that's going to stop you from doing you. And so, You just got to do that.
So I definitely appreciate that, bro. Because like I said, just building that confidence mentally, like you said, it'll definitely help what we necessarily speak out, because we get to the point where, like, I'm getting to the point of where, hey, I say it, but really like meaning it and saying, hey, I'm out here, it's here. Allow it to necessarily flow instead of trying to control it. Because it's here to stay. It's gonna be here to stay. You know what I mean? But I'm being confident in it, being comfortable in it. So I appreciate you, man, and definitely, like I say, it's a everyday battle. It's
Yes,
a
sir.
Every day better, we win.
Yes, sir, bro. I, man, I struggle like every day, bro. Like okay, so like different days for me. Like, okay, so like
Mhm.
one day, there's one day where like, I can't say vowels, or the
Mm.
other day, like I can't even say my own fucking name. And
Man.
then it's just like, you just gotta roll with it. And like one thing that I said in Uganda, that like I really like is if we're under the impression, uh, if we're under the impression that God doesn't make mistakes, why are we trying to fix our stutter?
oh,
Mm, that's a good one.
Ugh. Like why? Right? I mean, like he gave us that, you know, you know, uh, 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 you know, uh, 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 for a reason,
Hmm.
and like you just gotta figure out, like, what that reason is, and like your reason may change, but like you just
Yeah,
gotta figure that out.
man. Just going back to biblical, our boy Moses. Boy
Yeah,
Moses didn't
man.
know. Like, hey, he's
Yeah,
one that we could recite to much because
yeah,
he had his brother. He had his brother talk for him. He didn't speak well. I don't know if they stated, but he didn't know how to talk well. Like God gave him a mission for him to do, and he still did it with what the stutter he had. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's
man,
freaking cool.
it is, man. It's awesome, man.
Yeah,
It's crazy how God could use us in many ways, and how He could use us in many ways to inspire people that we might not even know
yeah,
we inspire.
yeah, man.
And there's one quote that I want to tell you because there's a quote that I always tell everybody on these interviews, man. It's from one of our first podcast that we had with Captain Rocky. She's a MMA fighter, and her quote was, "Our goal is not to be fluent. Our goal is to be understood."
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I don't know how you want to take that, but it's a quote that
I
I
love
like
it.
to tell everybody. It's awesome, man. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I love it.
all right, Mike. I got another question for you, man. This uh, this uh, this this documentary. What was it like? Making it. Especially when you're doing, I guess, like different cultures and how they stutter. Like, what was it like? I guess.
yeah, the culture's on. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, I guess going from like school to school. Okay, so like, uh, you could definitely tell, that the kids who stuttered, um, in different villages, you can tell like who still used punishment, uh, um, and who didn't. Like the kids at our school, whenever they speak loud. And like other schools, like you literally couldn't even hear them talk. Uh, they literally, and like it was just so, so, so quiet. I'll send you guys a documentary
Please.
whenever this is over with. And yeah, it's just, it's just to think that like a kid is beaten
Hmm.
because he stutters. It's just crazy to me,
It is. It is, man.
and like that shouldn't happen. And so like, I mean like, um, like if you're not bettering the world, I mean like, what are you doing,
Hmm.
right? I mean like, um, like you stutter, and there's not many people out there that stutter, and so like you have a gift. Like one thing that I always tell people who stutter, uh, it's 2025 right now, and everybody's trying to find like their own way to like stand out and like be unique. We don't have to do that.
We don't. We're already unique enough, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And so the sooner that you just freaking live it and just embrace it. A guy in Uganda told me that stuttering is just his accent. That's just the
wow.
way he talks. And it's no different. I mean, like whenever you think about it, right? Like it's no
Yeah,
different from like somebody that has like, you know, um, I don't know, like some other accent, like it's just how they talk.
definitely.
Yeah.
No, no, yeah, that
It's
makes
all in
total
how you
sense,
look at it.
man. It's how you look at it, and also the knowledge you have behind what stuttering is. And I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of people in those countries do not have the privilege that we take for granted is knowing that knowledge. And what you're doing, man, keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. Keep inspiring you, please, man, because that's something that I'm sure it's making a big difference. Even though you might not seem like it, but you're making a huge difference to many people. I, I, I- and you and you're reaching cultures that who do not have the privilege to get that education. You're reaching them and showing them that it's okay to stutter and it's okay to be who you are. And at the end of the day, it's it's not going away. It's not going away. Just understand that
Mm. Yeah.
it's not going away. Now, what are you gonna do about it? The whole mindset about that. Um, but I just want to leave you off with this one last question. What advice will you give somebody? What advice will you give to your 13? What advice will you give to you when you were 13 years old, as of right now? That journey you've gone through. What that one advice?
It's not worth it.
Yeah, yeah. Michael, don't make me cry on here.
Hey, man. Hey, that's real life, man. That's what
Yeah,
happens. That's what
yeah.
happens. It's not worth it.
This was Mike, man. Like I say, thank you for being on here, man. And from you to
Yeah.
from you to your son, man. That's one of the biggest things that we all think about when we do become parents, because we have been through this process and this road, man. So keep inspiring them, keep encouraging them, because you never know what he's going through as well. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So and
Yeah.
and and be vulnerable with him, because like I say, be vulnerable as much as him, because you know best. You know what I mean? So
Yes, sir.
appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd like to share something that like I haven't shared with anybody yet.
All right, do it, do it.
So I'm gonna make a prediction
All right,
that within 5 years, so uh, I've been working on an app
all right.
that's gonna change the way stuttering is handled all over the world,
Mm,
and uh, I'm so excited. But uh, it's gonna be great. But it's gonna make it to where it's gonna make it to where anybody on the planet is gonna have access to speech therapy
That's awesome.
at almost a free of charge.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, like it's because as a kid, like I saw my parents struggle,
Hmm.
with paying for speech therapy,
Yeah,
bro, because like speech therapy is
yeah.
expensive,
It
and you
is.
have to go a lot, right?
yes.
And I always told myself, like, I don't think it's right, that you should have to pay for something that's going to make you better. And
Uh-huh.
so this will fix all that. And so, yeah, I just
Yeah,
wanted to say it.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Um,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
whatever. It's good.
it's going to be there.
I can't wait to hear more about it in the future, man. But
Yeah.
I really want to stay connected with you, man. I feel like you're a great role model with me or with Brandon. I'm sure, man. Um, and what you're doing, I look up to it too, because I see you doing what a lot of us wish we could have done or could be doing. But man, I still want to stay connected with you, man. And if you ever want to chat, we can always chat. We can always get on another podcast again,
Yeah.
and maybe next podcast we'll talk more about your documentary and what you're doing next and what's your next goal in life. But